Hi guys! Today I'm thinking about the top 5 countries to retire in Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia is an appealing place to retire for many retirees. It has much to offer, particularly if you like a hot climate and want to trade your life in the West for a country with a lower cost of living. There are many criteria that retirees take into account when making their choice, and of course the criteria which is important to one person may not be important to another, so it is very much a subjective issue. For example, some of us may value cost of living over everything else in an attempt to reduce costs in retirement, whilst others may have more money in their pocket and value a more pleasant climate. There may be other considerations for others. For example, US citizens may value a territorial tax system in their country of relocation over anything else to avoid any potential double taxation, as US citizens are still taxed as if they live in the United States, even if they live abroad. Thailand is by far the most popular destination for expat retirees in Southeast Asia, with some 40% choosing the country. This is followed by Malaysia with 25%, Philippines with 12%, Vietnam with 10%, and Indonesia with 7%. But what is the outcome when we mark the 5 countries against a set of criteria? The following table gives a set of criteria for scoring the top 5 countries of choice for expat retirees, and then gives a final score at the end. The ranking of the countries in terms of best to retire in may surprise you. So just on the spreadsheet here, so the first column is the country, and then we have the cost of living in dollars, the cost of living in pound, the cost of living in euro per month for a single person, and then the HDI figure, which is the Human Development Index figure, which is a score out of 1.0. And then we have the quality of life score, which is out of 100. The pleasant weather ranking, which is the result of a survey of 89 countries, so the lowest score is the best weather. And then we have the freedom index, which is a score out of 10, the life expectancy in the country, the salary expected in the country after tax in US dollars, and a typical private healthcare cost per year in pound. And then we have the details of the retirement visa, the type of tax system, the percentage of English speakers in the country, and the number of points resultant from the number of greens the country has got. So the first country on our list is Thailand, where the cost of living is $9.14 in dollar per month. It should be noted that the cost of living is for a basic cost of life and wouldn't include any luxuries at all. So the cost of living here is 676 in pound and 786 in euro. So the Human Development Index figure in Thailand is 0.72, which is the lowest on this list and tied with the Philippines. The quality of life score is 56 out of 100. And the pleasant weather ranking is 13 out of 89, which is the highest on this list. The freedom index figure is 6.79 and the life expectancy is 76.4. The salary after tax in dollar per month is 561, and a typical private healthcare cost in Thailand is £2,550 per year. The type of visa is a 1-year renewable visa, which doesn't appear to have any renewable limit, meaning it can be extended indefinitely every year. And there's an age limit of over 50, with a requirement of £18,000 in the bank, or income, or a combination of the two. The visa is a type OA, and the tax system is progressive, meaning you would be taxed on your foreign sourced income. And in Thailand, the percentage of English speakers is 27. So Thailand has come out with just 1 point, which is because of the weather ranking, which is the highest on the list. And then we have Malaysia, where the cost of living is $824 in dollar per month, which is $610 in pound and $709 in euro. So the HDI figure in Malaysia is 0.819, which is the highest on this list. And the quality of life score is 68 out of 100, which again is the highest on the list. The pleasant weather ranking is 21, which is relatively quite high, and the freedom index is 7.11, which again comes out as top on the list. The life expectancy is 76.7, which is slightly higher than Thailand, and again tops the list. The salary after tax is 917 in dollar, which is the highest again on the list. The typical healthcare cost for private healthcare in Malaysia is £2,010 per year. The retirement visa is for 5 to 20 years and is renewable. The age requirement is just over 25. There's a requirement for 111k in a bank and $1844 per month. And there's also a requirement to buy a property. Malaysia has a territorial tax system, so you shouldn't be taxed on your foreign sourced income. And Malaysia has 57% of English speakers. So Malaysia has come out with 6 points. Under the criteria of human development, quality of life, freedom, life expectancy, salary, and a territorial tax system. So in Indonesia, the cost of living is 575 in dollar per month, which is 426 in pound and 495 in euro. The HDI figure is 0.728. The quality of life score is 49. The weather rank is 27. The freedom index is 6.67. Life expectancy is 71.1. And the salary after tax is the lowest on the list, with just $281 per month. A healthcare plan is £1,400 per year, and the visa is 1 year renewable up to 5 years, with a requirement of 2231 in pound per month of income, and the visa is called a KITAS visa. Indonesia has a progressive tax system, so you'll be taxed on your foreign sourced income, and 31% of people speaking English. So Indonesia has come out with no points at all. Vietnam has a cost of living of $650 in dollar, which is 481 in pound and 559 in euro. So the HDI figure in Vietnam is 0.766. The quality of life score is 49. The weather rank is 50 out of 89, which is the lowest on this list. And the freedom rank is 5.29, which again is the lowest on the list. The life expectancy is shown as 74.6, and the salary per month after tax is 335. So the healthcare cost in Vietnam is £705 per year, which is the lowest on this list. And there's no specific retirement visa in Vietnam, but it's assessed on a 1 to 5 year basis, so there's no age requirement, but there's a requirement for investment which is around £96,000. and there's a progressive tax system, so again you would be taxed on your foreign sourced income, and just 16% of people speaking English, which is the lowest on the list. So Vietnam comes out with just 1 point. And the last country on the list is Philippines, where the cost of living is $616 in dollar per month, which is the lowest on this list. So that's 456 in pound and 530 in euro. And the HDI figure is tied with Thailand as the lowest on the list at 0.72. So the quality of life score in Philippines is 48 out of 100, which is the lowest on the list. The pleasant weather ranking is 20, which is relatively high, and the freedom index is 6.6. The life expectancy is the lowest on the list at 69.8, and the salary after tax is relatively low at 284 per month. A typical private healthcare plan is £1850 per year. The retirement visa is practically indefinite. The age requirement is over 50, and there's a requirement of £14,000 in the bank, or £600 per month of income, and it's called the SRRV visa. Philippines has a territorial tax system, so there should be no tax at all on your foreign sourced income. And the Philippines has 64% of English speakers, which is the highest on the list. So Philippines comes out with 4 points. So the outcome is that Malaysia is the #1 country to retire to with the criteria used, with 6 points. Second place goes to the Philippines with 4 points. Joint third goes to Vietnam and Thailand with 1 point each. And last position goes to Indonesia with 0 points. Of course, the outcome is determined by the criteria used in the first place, and some people will swear by a particular country and be very passionate about their choice. But at least on paper, from this exercise, Malaysia comes out on top. Okay guys, that was the top 5 countries to retire to in Southeast Asia. I'll see you on the next one.